everybody, it's Chad from the Bearded Hops Podcast. Here to do another quick review. Today we're going to do one from Founders. This is a January-February release this year, and this is the Founders Sumatra Mountain Brown Imperial Brown Ale brewed with Sumatra coffee. It's in the regular short Founders bottle. It's available in a 4-pack. It's also available on draft. This beer is 9% ABV. It has 40 IBUs. I think this is going to be a really good one. I haven't read much about it, but from what I understand, kind of smooth and sweet with a good balance of bitterness. This bold Imperial Brown Ale gets its body from a team of malts, including caramel malt for sweetness, flaked barley for dense foam, a bit of chocolate malt for its deep color, and aromatic and Munich malts to add even more depth. German and pearl hops add a touch of bitterness to balance the malty sweetness. The addition of rich Sumatra coffee takes this perfectly balanced Imperial Brown Ale to a decadent level. See if I can grab my opener. We'll pop the cap on this one. Yeah. Nuttiness. We're going to pour into my only child glass. Start off to the side there. We'll tip it to get it a nice straight pour, get some fizz, get some bubbly and some head going. Got a super dark color to it. I'm just going to keep pouring slowly. The head on this is somewhat stout-like, and I can smell it from here. It's about 10 inches from my nose, and I can smell it. Oh, nuttiness, caramel, definitely. I don't get any chocolate, and I can smell it's not a hoppy smell, but I can smell some of the hops in it. I'm going to set that down for just a second. I don't go to brown ales all that often. A lot of them I like. I can remember Newcastle has a brown ale that I didn't care for. Most of the brown ales that I've had, I really did enjoy. This has a really good rating on Untappd, 4.08 with 109,000 total check-ins. This beer was added back in December of 2010, so it's been around. They make it every January and February. Beer Advocate has a 4.29 out of 5 with 1,620 ratings. Don't really have any other descriptors on Beer Advocate's website. So let's look at the color. And you can see it looks really dark holding it up. Kind of looks like a stout there, but put a light up to it. It's it looks red because of the white light going through a brown ale. It kind of makes it look a little red, but it's deep brown in color. Somewhat translucent, it's not hazy at all. Let's give it a try. Interesting that I didn't get any coffee smell. I still don't, but the coffee is definitely there in the taste, especially on the back end. It's sweet up front. I can taste the caramel. I can taste the chocolate. It's got somewhat of a bitterness to it. 40 IBUs. If it wasn't balanced nicely with the malts, it would start to be on the bitter side. But I think the malts really make this a nicely balanced beer. Caramel malts, chocolate, aromatic and Munich malts. Yeah. It's a sweet, nutty flavor. It's a really good brown ale. I can understand why it's rated so well. Okay, serving temperature for the brown ale is... It really depends on the brown ale. This one being an Imperial, I think it's probably better served on the warm side. Now, I bought this one straight off the shelf. It was not in the refrigerated section at the beer store at Ridgeview Liquors. So it's store temperature. I would guess I'm probably holding about a 60 to 65 degree beer, just based on how it feels in my hand and how it tastes and how it feels in my mouth. It's really good at this temperature. The flavors are amazing. The caramel and chocolate, they jump right out at you. It's got a nice sweetness to it. Coffee at the end as it settles. The whole thing has an excellent mouthfeel, kind of coats your mouth in all kinds of flavors. Bitterness doesn't show up until the end, and it's not that bitter. This is a really good one. I'm thoroughly enjoying this. So Founders is in Grand Rapids, Michigan. It was founded by Mike Stevens and Dave Engbers. These guys just kind of chased a dream to create a brewery. They didn't want to have a big brewery. They've grown, but their original philosophy, I guess. We don't brew beer for the masses. Instead, our beers are crafted for a chosen few, a small cadre of renegades and rebels who enjoy a beer that pushes the limits of what is commonly accepted as taste. In short, we make beer for people like us. Yeah, Founders has gotten fairly big over the years, but they're still small in the overall beer world. Now, they are owned 30% by a larger company, so because of that 30% ownership, it technically takes them out of the craft beer segment, but just barely. If you're owned by 25%, you're still considered a craft beer brewery. If you're owned anything above that, you're taken out of that category. But barrel-wise, they're still well within the small brewery, and I would still consider a lot of their beers craft. In fact, I'd probably consider all of their beers Beers Craft. We did review Founders CBS, this 2017 CBS a few weeks back. Absolutely love that one. That one knocked our socks off. And I don't know that I've had really anything bad from Founders. Let me go check my beer history while we're waiting for whatever we're waiting for. The CBS is the most recent. That was fantastic. I mean, that was a 5. We had Kentucky Breakfast Stout 2017, but we haven't done a fair review on that one yet. We had a very small sample of it when we had the CBS to compare it to. We're going to come back around and do CBS this year because I know we'll be able to get it, the 2018 version. I've had the Dirty Bastard, which is a Scotch ale, Nitro Oatmeal Stout, Breakfast Stout. All of these are rated 3.5, 4. The only one I don't care for from Founders that I've had is the All Day IPA, and a lot of people love that beer. I'm not an IPA guy, so for an IPA, I don't like IPA session beers. They just don't have a flavor for me, and since I'm not an IPA guy, I'm not going to drink them all day anyway. So for an IPA, to me, has to have some huge, bold flavors for me to give it a good rating. So I didn't care for the All Day, but that's just me. So this one is really, really good. I'm going to give this an initial rating of 3.75. It might go up just a little bit. 4 territory is something really, really special. I'm not sure I can get there, but 3.75, excellent beer. You guys can find our regular podcast at beardedhops.com. We try to put out a podcast a week in a long format. We do a bunch of quick reviews. I do a Friday morning beer review. Everything you want to know about Bearded Hops is there, beardedhops.com. Find us on social media at beardedhops.com/find us. And Adam and I will be on to the next beer review very, very soon. And until then, cheers, everybody. Sumatra Mountain.